Good morning, everybody, or whatever time you watch a video. Hard to believe it's June. I'm wearing a toque, but as you can see, we've got some wonderful rain. Since yesterday, I think a little bit the day before, we actually had a pretty wet June. It's pretty nice. But I'm rambling. Again, good morning. Let's see if I can start this again. Today, Carrie is heading out to town. She has a hair appointment and she has to get some stuff in town and some errands. And we're gonna stick around here and just throw some of our tools into the truck because we're staying here as the moms and babies and the main flock are way over on the grass field that we brought them in from on our video. Either you watched it this morning, you watched it last night, you watched it after this one, I don't know. So we just had to grab a tool to go protect them because the coyotes have been extremely active in that grove of trees and just down the road over there, and then just over right in this area here. So just because it's been so wet, they've been pushed in for the last 2 days or so, and now that it's a little bit nicer out, they're going to start getting active and moving around. The guardian dogs are not exactly staying in the field because there's so many coyotes around, so we're just going to have to keep going back and forth to protect them. But I am going to stay here, and I am going to try and get the rest of this trailer worked on here. I got tool spread everywhere. So why don't I flip you around and show you what we're going on here. All right, so I do have a couple other videos on this that I took, but I didn't edit and put them out. The first one was like December 26th, minus 40. Our friends let us borrow this, and my dad let us borrow his truck. This is ours, as you can see. The tail lights are welded in. Farm truck. So we were hauling hay with this because we went short just at that stupid cold snap. Probably when we first started putting videos out. So our friends at Heron's Landing Farm, they let us borrow this trailer to move it, the hay. So they've let us borrow that now. I think we've had it for a couple months. Oh, we did bring it back at one time, but because they needed it, and then they let us borrow it again. So what's going on here is I'm doing some repairs to it before it goes back. As you can see, I've thrown a new wheel on it because that one's all clean. I've thrown a new wheel on either side because there was a video on that, and there was a video, like I said, in December where only that tire had brakes. Well, it turned out that the wire had broken off of this wheel, and that wheel. So in an emergency situation, I just ran temporary wires to get all the brakes working on this. So I have a bit of wiring to do on this today. I'm going to try and reroute the wire to the inside the axle tubes instead of screwed to the bottom of the decking, just so it would be more factory-like. The other thing we did recently is, I don't have a video on this, is was missing the 3 marker lights on the rear. In BC, your trailer is required to have a marker light at the highest outer point. So this doesn't exactly work. That's a brake and turn signal. And then that one on the side doesn't exactly work because it's not facing rear. You also need these 3 markers on the inside to indicate anything. I think it's over 7 wide. It might be over 8 wide. I can't remember, and I'm not going to go look up the information. So we added those penny lights. We're going to get Carrie to pick up 2 more red penny lights for the rear of the fenders and 2 amber penny lights for the front. And we're going to make a piece of pipe that comes out, and the penny lights are mounted to that. It'd be way stronger in case somebody whacks this. The original marker lights were mounted to the side of the trailer, just one, and it was a split light, so there'd be amber on the front and red on the back. But having something hang out on the side, they tend to get smacked off, which is exactly what happened to this. So I also did a video that hasn't been edited when I replaced that tire, because we had a massive blowout, so I fixed all that. You can sort of see the wiring there that I did. I straightened this fender. It was all bent up. You can see a little bit there that I just couldn't straighten. We replaced these gussets in here because they were rotted and missing. And then in order to run the penny lights at the back of the fender, I added a bit of, can you even see it, this pipe here to run the wiring inside on the front and the back, so we can run our wire inside a safety sheath to this marker and that marker. That way, you got to always sort of plan that somebody's going to put a hook on the fender and run it over the load. So if the wiring's protected, and that's all. So I got all those to weld in on that side. We got to straighten that fender. You can see the repairs I did here. The problem on this one, why it looks so bad, is somebody actually took this metal and say this was the steel here. Say this was the steel, you're looking at it flat. When it bends like this, you can fix it. But what they did was they creased it like this. And once you crease it like that, I had to chop this and re-weld it all. We also had, what else is going on this one? These things here had the, what the heck is it called? This stuff, the marker tape. But you can see the marker tape was causing some rust jacking right here. And then with this banging into here, it was causing rust jacking. So I've just cleaned all that up. We got new marker tape to go on there. Carrie's got to get more paint because I'm almost out. So we'll clean that up. One of these lights, this light bracket's bent. We'll straighten that up and protect the wire. You can see the rust jacking here. Back up. Rust jacking going on in there. And then repair that. Straighten that, weld the bracket, put the pipes on. Run the wiring for this. Take this deck board off. Here, redo this wiring here. You getting ready to head out. Okay, just sort of going over here. So I should run another light to this license plate light because it's all busted up. Maybe grab one of those too. Yeah, I think this one, I'm not sure what style this was because it's all smashed in and rust jacked out. Like there's a big bracket that's riveted. Just whatever you get, we can make it fit. Even if I got to bring a thing out to shine the light down, it needs a license plate light.
Okay. License plate light and 4 penny lights?
4 penny lights, 2 red, 2 amber, paint. That should be it. The rest of this, I might try and leave this wire at the back here because it's got this protective sheath. The only problem is this is so low that in the winter, this wiring gets damaged by the snow. So you can't really run this. I'd like to take this wiring that comes from that light down and around and then back up and just run it straight across this tube or straight across that pipe there. And I did make some wiring clamps.
In the middle one would be.
That's what I think, putting it right there, because the problem is like you go on a dirt road, you go on a muddy road, you go in the snow, and the snow catches in here and destroys it all. So what I'll do is I'll take another one of those pipes and I'll run it straight up here to protect the wiring to these penny lights. Yeah. Off of that, and I think that would run it way more protected. Yeah. And then we got to get these deck boards. I got this.
Oh, you need a drill bit?
I'm gonna try my Sawzall up underneath.
Okay.
Up underneath here to cut these out so I can get access to this in here to fix all this and reroute that wiring and such. Okay. And then I'll replace those 2 deck boards and paint that side, straighten that, put that all on. And I think that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna get at it. This is gonna be fun to straighten. So I'm gonna get at this. I can't remember where I was working here, but
text me if you need anything more.
Okay, I will let you know. I'm hoping this works because I just got to knock those drill bit heads off and then I just got to clean a spot to weld this. So I'm hoping this thing works until my other grinder gets repaired and back.
Stay with Dad.
Zoe. Okay, I'm gonna clean up my truck so I'm ready to go out if I have to go out and do see the sheep here. So phone thing. Coyote Patrol, you betcha. Throw that in there. If you want to, yeah. Easement books. Okay. Oh, there's a. Okay, you go there. You go there. You go there. Okay. Oh, cowboys. Okay, so. Come on, Zoe. You got to stay here. Just throw that rifle up on the dash right now, just if she goes in the truck, because she will get it dirty, and you can't get these things dirty. Ugh. There we go.
Down here.
So those, yeah, we also got to go out hopefully and install those things on the back fence. But first things first, I'm gonna get those. I should pull all this off and clean that up. Okay, no, I gotta go find my. I'm gonna go find my Sawzall. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna do this wiring back here, number one. And then, yeah, when we borrowed this, that deck board was flapping this. What's up? So when we first borrowed this, that deck board was held on by just 2 bottom screws, so it was flapping. And then the middle deck board was completely missing. So I got a treated board was cut to fit in there. But we have to remove this, and unfortunately these screws are locked in, so I have to cut them out. And then we've got to cut all these screws out, drill new holes, move that ground, rewire these penny lights, remove this green wire here. I think that's our first job. Do this wiring at the back end, because the wiring at the back end affects the wiring there and everything forward. Start from the back forward. So I'm going to get on that. I hope that kind of makes sense. I'd like to change a tire out on the far side because it is wearing a little weird. That front tire, it's wore a bit on the outside, but most of the treads are still in really good shape. I do have a spare tire for that. But what I will do is, if I don't replace it, I'll just send it home. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's sitting over there. I'll just send it home when we take this back. Oh, I gotta fix this light too, isn't hooked up, and I'm gonna properly do that. But we'll send that all the tires home that I have. I have 2. I have one that's way too small that was actually on this other video, and then I have the blown out one, other video, that I haven't put out yet. And then I've got a spare tire that matches the rear ones, but I'm just gonna leave those off. Throw them, strap them on the deck, take the trailer back. Our goal is to get this to look like it doesn't want to get pulled over. Because if it looks like a pile of junk rolling down the road and it's all bent and smashed up and deck boards are flapping and lights don't work and you don't have the proper lights, they're going to pull you over and do a safety on it. Not that it won't pass a safety, but if you don't want to get pulled over, have your stuff not look like this. I mean, these are pallet straps. You know those metal strapping for doing pallets and 2x6s? My tail lights were falling out, so I welded those on. So these tail lights, I can't change the bulbs without a grinder. So, and I don't have a grinder. Crap. Grinder's broke. So we can't have a tail light burnt out. Yeah, don't have your stuff look like a farm truck. Have it look nice. So we don't need our friends to get pulled over on their trailer. So we're going to do the work we can to make it look bueno. Mota bueno. Right? Bueno. Bueno show lamb. Bueno show lamb. Other show lamb. Grafty. Shade. Happy. There is, what's her name? Chevy. That's Chevy right there. She's the one that was in the creek. She's all dirty because that little dinkus right there gave her a bunt and rolled her over. So, but she's doing really good. Day 2, awesome. There's the dogs. Okay. Oh, if we do get this finished in a reasonable time frame, we got to go out back and do some stuff on fences, because we got to go pick up some fencing wire tonight so that we can finish off and try and get which pin is the Rams? Those fat boys right there. All those fat boys need to go out back onto grass. And we got all the posts in. I got all but 4 rails up for the cross bracing. So we'll try and go finish getting that all prepped out. So all we have to do is string wire, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday and Thursday, because I want the boys to move out Thursday night. So hopefully we get this done. This doesn't take too long and we're out there, maybe after lunch. So you want to work off grid with power tools. I don't know if you can hear it. Generator's going, compressor's going. Running the small compressor to save on the big compressor, because it's easier to run the small compressor for small fuel. Am I yelling? Maybe. Took this little die grinder and knocked all the heads of these down and grinded them smooth. Well, right there. Okay, now we just got the generator on. Woo! That uses a little bit less fuel than the big one. Well, no, it uses more fuel than the big one. But it's less money to work on that than it is on the big one. So now we got these deck screws Carrie picked up. We will get our deck boards, we'll pull those screws, get our deck boards to size. I know I'm jumping ahead because I want to get that wire done, but we're going to get these screws, the decking, all set up to go on first. So I'm going to pop these out, cut this to size, and then rip this one down off that broken end so we don't use that broken end. Cat, cat, cat. Dog's in the truck. So that's the plan right there. I should be able to turn that off. Plus this little gasoline generator, you can actually turn them off and on as you need them. The diesel generators, not such a good idea. Once it's on, let it run for a bit. So just a bit of an off-grid tip there. Gas generators, they're more conducive to off, on, off, on, off, on. Not so much on that, just with the design of the injection pumps. Better to leave them run for a little bit, just like any diesel pickup, older diesel pickup, let them run for a bit. Don't start and stop. Starting and stopping is actually not good for anything, really, but because that takes a lot less oil, it's a lot cheaper to maintain. So, make sense? Make sense? No? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? As you get into the oil analysis on stuff and how oil breaks it, we're not going to go into that. Okay, I completely forgot what I was doing here. Oh, circular saw to cut the deck boards. Okay, I'll see you right there. Okay, cordless. We've started to move towards all cordless tools too. So off-grid, if we want to go work out back, I don't have to pick this up and load it into the truck. We can just take a battery. So that's why we've started to move towards cordless. The downside is I just got this same brand, De Joaquini. Yeah, I'm not going to call it what it is. So the Red Devil, the Red Army there. We've started to get all our batteries to match, well, all of this, or all our tools to match all those batteries so that we only have one set of batteries that go between everything. Had no problem with any of their tools. Drills, impacts, screw guns, circular saws. I got a grinder, and within, I think, I didn't even finish it. I did that fender there, and I started working on the something else, and it burned up on me, so I have no luck with grinders, except for my first one I got from Canadian Tire. I got that in like 2000. Lasted 8 years and massive amounts of projects that we built. So then I kept buying, like when it burned up, I tried to find another $30 grinder. Ended up getting a yellow, De Joaquini, and it lasted about 4 years before it burned up. And then I went to the Milwaukee there, and it lasted less than a month and it burned up. So you just can't get quality tools anymore. But let's get to work on cutting these deck boards here to fit, and then we'll know that's all sized up. We'll drill the holes and get that all set up to tap and screw in there, so I know that project is finished. So I'll get that one done, and then we'll move on to the next trailer part here. So hey, look at that deck board in. Now what we're gonna do is, because this one was wider and this one's got a bit of damage at that end, we're going to measure the width and then measure over and rip that damaged end off and set that in, and then take it all apart so we can do the wiring. But at least we know we'll have the deck boards, and those screws are working mint. Carrie got a bulk order of these from, these are what we're using here. I don't know what they are. I don't know. There's your information right there. And then they're just sort of self-tapping on the end. Focus. Can you focus if I do this? Just a sec. So you're sort of self-tapping at the end, and then they're hex, and then they're a Torx bit. That's what we're using. So I'm going to measure across. Take these old square heads out there, Robertsons, and then rip that board down and get that test fit in there. And then once that's test fit, we'll pop this board off here. Okay, we'll pop this board off here because we need to get access to the middle of this to put our new wiring pipes and so yeah, we'll get to work on that. Space that out. It's already cut to length, so that'll work good. And then that won't be flapping anymore. And Johnny Law won't have a reason to see us waving at him as you're going down the road at every bump, because the boards are flapping at him. So mucho cool. Be back at it in a minute. Hey, hey, look at that. Deck board's all back together. Looking good. All screwed in, new screw fasteners. That one's a little off, whatever. It's gonna get filled with mud and nobody will ever tell, so. Yeah, that looks way better than it did before. Now, I gotta drill out these ones here, these screws, and take these two boards back off so that we can work on the wiring for these lights and these lights and put them where they'd be a lot safer and a lot better for all winter use. Or just, you know, even because I know the folks that have this, they got a farm, so you never know what type of driveways they go in, and that's way too low. You can see how the wires have been caught and pulled out. So we're going to prevent that from happening again. So I'm going to pull this all off, drill these out, and get ready to start repairing wires. So that's the next step. How's our little sheepies doing here? You guys are looking good. Where is our girl? Oh, look at her. Looking good, kiddo. A little bit muddy, but she's taking right to being in here. Hi, Happy. You pooping? Hi, that's Mr. Samples. Yeah. You guys are looking good. Okay. I just looked at the time. I might have to go do a patrol out at our friends across the way there. It's 11:30. I think I'm going to finish this off. Like I said, just take these boards all off here. And then I will go and check them. I got to figure out how I'm taking these screws out of here though. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Okay, off I go. Get this done. And okay, so yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with sitting here trying to figure this out, or whether I should even take them off. I need to take them off because we need to get into the bottom. I need to get into that middle so I can put some... So what we'll do is down the bars that went down the middle here, we'll take some of this. This is old from the futon feeders that the rams had, and we'll put it and weld it along through the braces there. And we'll run our wiring straight to these lights at the back through this, and that'll keep it all safe right to the point where it comes out there. And then no snow, rocks, debris, gravel, mud will be able to damage any of the wiring again. So that's the plan. Stan. Okay, I gotta get those off then. See you in a minute then. All right, folks. So coming to this wiring, we're gonna take the wiring from back here, which is basically put in harm's way from any road debris, snow, anything you drive over. Even though it's in these little weird angle brackets, it is still, it's not in the best place to get just at all. Because there is a small little angle bracket right here that ties this rub rail into this frame, and the wiring, no matter how you do it, has to run underneath of that. So I did think I could possibly drill through that, take a small section of pipe, stick it in there, and then we could raise it all up. I just don't like the idea of having the wiring down there at this back section. I really don't. All the other, it's been exposed to so much crap that it's really damaged. I'd like to relocate it to this beam right here. Taking some of these, sticking them in there, chopping the ends off, running our wire from these lights across this beam here, high up and out of the way. Just easier to work on because the reality this here is at the back, which is fine. I'm sort of coming to a decision as to, if this was my trailer, I would run it through here. But seeing as this is somebody else's trailer, I'm thinking I might just put a hole through here and attach one of these through there, and then have my wiring splice out for these three lights at the back from that spot. It's not our trailer. I think if it was ours, I would totally relocate everything up here. It just comes down to the fact that this is not ours. I don't wanna move anything from where somebody might be familiar. I also, like, if Kevin comes to work on it, he knows the wires are back here, so then he'll know they're there. If I move them up there, he doesn't know they're there, right? So that's kind of that issue. But we do have some wire loom And I do have, these again are those lumber straps. Like they're really long, and they're the same thing I use. Well, I bent them up into, I cut them into about 3-inch sections here, and then I bend them into these, and you can just either screw these or weld these to say that frame, and then you run your wire in here and it holds it all up out of the way. I got a bunch of these here kicking around that I could have also used in that frame rail. But as I sit here looking at this, I think our best bet is to really, we'll leave the wiring that we have. We'll leave it at the back spot right through here. Like it's just not our trailer. Honestly, if it was, that is the safest place to put it. Because just using this over the winter and seeing how it, and just seeing how the weather reacts to it and the dirt roads and such, and then because this is such a low, because you see how it drops down, it's such a low clearance. I just don't like it at all, like that it's going to rub on something. But I also can't in good conscience modify somebody's trailer that much. If somebody dropped it off and said, you know what, go over this and rewire the whole trailer, and you were getting paid to do the job, you know, and I could say, you know, that's where I want to run it. But if I do it down here, it'll still be safe. We'll tuck it up, we'll put nice lube on it, we'll make it all nice and tight. It should never be an issue. I'm just thinking of that 1 to 2% of the time that there might be a problem, is why I would just spend the time now to move it up there. I wonder what you guys would do. You know, I sit here and I'm like, you know, they've let us borrow this. So should I not do the right thing to make sure that this is all nice and secure and done proper? Like, I should phone them up and just be like, hey, should I move the wiring up? But I'm trying to get this done as quickly as I can. I want this wiring done so I can move to the license plate lights and then the fenders. Like, I just want to get this buttoned up here. So I keep saying I'm going to move it up there. You know what? It's the right way. It's the right thing to do. There's the right thing to do, and then there's so ethically, I guess ethically, morally, it's not our trailer. I don't really want to modify this where it is, but just like knowing that they could run into a problem with it back here, I should move it up there. I know once I solder and do all these wires, it'll never be a problem from left to right. We're gonna do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna do it the way. I got to cut these wires out of here anyways. They're just, there's just a lot of damage in here. So, I mean, there's literally just one wire holding it on. But all this has to be replaced anyways. Like, all this wire's been damaged. So, I'm just going to start work on pulling it out, I think. I can't leave it in a way that could leave them. They were so helpful to us to let us borrow this. Yeah, this piece of pipe that this sits in, it's just a piece of angle iron like that that's welded on the bottom that the wire's protected. It's full of muck and stuff. And the wire is really brittle. So I'm going to just take this out, use what sections I can, run this up here. I'm going to use this stuff here to run the pipe, the tubing in, or to run the wire in. So we'll sleeve the wire through here. We'll stick this in here and just tack that up onto there. And then we'll just run a piece of pipe down this way to protect this wire that goes to these 3 marker lights. And I'll probably stick it, because they got a flappy do that comes down. I might just stick it off to the side there, run it down on that one side. I think that's the way we're going. Okay, executive decision. It comes down to the morality of it. You don't want to leave somebody with something they can't use. So we will clean this all up and do it the right way. So yeah, we'll just do it the right way. Just don't even play with this. Don't even, son. Do it the right way. There's only one way to do it, and that's the right way. I'm not going to give that up right now because I'm not gonna stop doing that. Good people do it right. Come on, where did you go? Right there. Okay. Because if you hit a bump and tear that, or more muck or rock gets stuck in there, 100% they lose their lights. You lose your lights, you're a target now for the DOT, which is Canada DOT, Department of Transportation, which is our commercial vehicle dudes. So, yeah, right to there, and then we'll run that back, okay? And then we've got to redo these penny lights. Okay, yeah, executive decision made. We're on it, we're on it. Okay, where'd the other wire go? Where the heck is that wire? Holy smokes, that's a hazard. There we go. There we go. See, I never would have even seen that. The yellow wire in the middle's broke, but I know the yellow wire isn't even used. Not on this side, so. All right, I'm gonna have to jack this back end of this up to get into there to do my weldering. And then to start doing my drilling for all the mounting and grinding and cleaning and stuff. So I'm gonna see what time it is here. Do I have I have my spare phone. 10 to noon. So I'm going to get some jacks under here. I'm gonna go grab some spare wire. We're gonna run that down. We just need a positive and a ground for those rear lights. And yeah, we're just doing it the right way. I'm sorry. You guys are watching this. That's the right way to do it. That's a safe way. That's going to be more problem free. I can go through and do a nice clean inspection on these wires because they're brittle, so I'll probably replace most of them. I got good stuff sitting in the shop. It's the right way to go. It's the right way. I feel more confident and safer that it's up there. You know, I'm looking out for you guys. So, okay, I'll see you guys shortly. I'm gonna start drilling and cleaning all this up. I got to clean these rails all up, and I'm gonna give them a coat of paint. And then maybe after I do the welding, I'm gonna start doing my jacking this up and prepping all this and doing some wiring work. And then I'm probably gonna run out and check everybody. But I'll let see you guys before I run out and check everybody. So, in doing my wiring, I run into an issue where my soldering irons, yes, Crafty, are both buggered up. So I've had to do crimp connections. I truly don't like to use crimp connections on anything. I like the strong mechanical connection of a solder. Strong mechanical? Yeah, anyways. I prefer to use solder joints. But I think we build this harness properly, we should be okay. The other issue I ran into on the trailer was I wanted to put a hole through one of the brackets. I can't get my drill in the side. I did hope to be able to use a, what the heck am I thinking here? My big grinder to do a notch that the wires would fit through. Unfortunately, I've had to use my little grinder, my cutoff air die grinder there. Not ideal, but I still got a notch to tuck these wires way up tight, and hopefully we have done the best we can. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with not having the right tools and having broken tools, and it seems to be the way around here right now. Everything seems to have an issue with tools or machines breaking down, so we're going to do the best we can. We're going to make a really nice wire loom here out of this for the 3 tail lights, the rear marker lights. So so down here I wanted to put a hole on this side, sort of like I did up here, for this to weld into, and I wanted this to come out here and then in this bracket across. But you see I got this notch here. It's not as deep as I'd like, but I think we'll be okay. So this wire loom here that we've just made is for our rear marker lights. So, and then I just got to get the welder and weld this pipe in here, and we'll finish taping this up a little bit, and then we'll run our wires across. It's actually an hour after when I was hoping to be done with this. I should have gone and checked the sheep an hour ago and had lunch an hour ago, but started to rain and just with tools breaking down and such. Anyways, I gotta go check those sheep. So I'm gonna go do that and then I'll be back later with whatever I'm doing next. So I did check the sheep. Neighbor's white dog was sort of in with them. I'm not sure if it was chasing them or not. Get into that later. I'm gonna flip you around and show you. It's just pouring down rain here. So I don't know where I left off. I got these little tabs. I welded these in here to hold this wire up just because of the issues we had in here. That's welded in there. Don't mind the shitty welds because it was raining. I got these pipes in here. Oh, and they're welded on. I got a nice common ground right here. Hi, Zoe. That we welded on. The pipes are on either side, so the wiring comes out back and then along here, so we're a lot safer. Doesn't look like anything hangs down, right, Zoe? That light works. Marker lights that. So next thing is the light to the front. But I gotta just take this stuff and put it all away. This is raining too bad. So I got my tape up on the front there. As you see, I gotta finish this section here, but you can't paint in this weather. But I gotta do, this marker light is not connected. And, oh, sorry. This bracket just needs to be bent out, but this light works. Right, so, and then we got to wire wheel and clean this and do, but I can't do much else. It's pouring down rain. I might be able to take these wheels off and straighten this bend and this dippy-do and that bend, but it's coming down way too much right now. I'm just getting drenched out here. I'm already soaked right through. I think this is finished. I'd like to get a coat of paint on that, but the reality is I don't need to, because I don't really need to. What I might just do is just leave this right now, put my tools away, welder, and just be done, because we're not getting anything done right now. It is pouring down. My hands are pruned out. Trying to weld underneath, it was sparking back. It was just a treat. So, yeah, I think we're done here. It's just, like I'm soaked through. This jacket's drenched, my t-shirt's drenched, but I'm trying to get this thing done. Like I said, this trailer done, because we need to go back and get fencing done. I wanted the rams out on grass by Thursday. I don't think this is going to ease up. It looks like it's socking way in back there. I gotta go get a fire going and try and get warm here, but I gotta put my tools away. Just gonna hide underneath the eaves here. We got a lot, not really a lot done. Did we get a lot done on the trailer? A lot of stuff I have to do underneath. You know, I sit underneath the eaves trough here and I think, I think I'll start putting my tools away. I do need the welder and the generator and the compressor, but the back deck boards are done. The back wiring's relocated, so that's all safe. I can't really cut my pipes on the fenders for the lights. What I might just do is just drill out the fenders and then put the penny lights straight in them. It's getting to the point now where let's just get it done, right? It's also to the point where I don't mind doing it proper, but I want to get this out of here. Well, not proper. I wouldn't mind doing it like to my standard of installation. Proper is putting lights in it. It's not a big deal. But I'd like to do it to my standard of installation. I think I'm gonna start putting tools away here, and we'll see how we feel in a minute. But I gotta get some of these tools out of the weather here, so I will let you guys go here. Oh, sorry. I'm holding the phone the best I can because I am just soaked right through. So I'm just gonna get to put tools away here. I already had to put these tools in here because they were getting too wet. So yeah, I'm just gonna all right, I'll get this done and I don't know, see you in a minute. So isn't this the way? No sooner did I get all my tools cleaned up, but the sun come out and the rain stopped. So I did quickly, can't remember what I said I was going to do on the back end, but I just looked at it and I'm just like, that's good enough, put it back together. The wiring's done, I don't need to be under here. Deck boards are all back. Look at that, looks better than when we started, all cleaned up and new screws and fasteners. So that's good. Back wires moved, that's good. All the lights work, that's good. So now that it's, hi Shade. Where is she? She's over there. There she is. Shade, Shade. They want out, but I can't let them out right now. There's not enough grass. They go and destroy the hay. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm already soaked and the weather's getting nicer, so I am going to straighten out this bracket and then get the other light. This is companion on the other side. I'll get that wired in. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm already drenched, so what the heck. Might as well crank this out. The longer this takes, or the more days this takes, the further behind I get done on my fencing. So if we can pound this out today, because we're not going out back to do the fencing. I thought I would, but just non-stop issues. So, you know, like this is wrong, that's wrong. Rain, broken tools, not right tools. So we'll just crank this trailer out today and hopefully get out and do fencing tomorrow. I think that's the plan. Let's just finish this up. I won't have this because I gotta take these, I think I'm gonna take these off and clean them up and repaint that. We won't get that done because the weather's not cooperating. So let's at least get as much of the wiring on those axles, like I said, redo that, and then get this done and get that done, and maybe bang out that fender there. You can see how that fender loops down, like, and then this corner's busted in, and then the back corner's bent in. We didn't do that. That was just the way it came, but it's something I can easily fix, so I figure I'll easily fix it. I say easily fix it, and now I'm half a day longer than I anticipated on fixing this thing, but hey, whatever. We'll get it fixed. So I'm just gonna crank this out, get that straightened up, and get that wiring done. So, and yeah, maybe I'll get a little bit dry. I don't think so. I don't think so. So that was quick and easy. It looked like I got whacked here, and then the crease came out here, and then this side bent in, and then this side rolled. Basically, work it the opposite of how, like I said, it hit here, and then this did this, and this did this, and this did this. Think about how something was impacted, and then work backwards from there, if that makes sense. So that looks pretty. Just wire wheeled it, acetone, and threw some paint on there. It'll sort of match this side when we clean that all up, but I like it. Looks good. Light works, so I had to clean a bunch of mud off of it, but yeah, she looks pretty good. A little bit of a crease right there still, but you know, looks fairly flat. Oh, and then that was tore up there, but yeah, so that looks pretty good. You can see it looks fairly flat now. So there's a little bit of a this way, but that has to do with this little bit of a bend in is actually causing this to come out. We're not going to work that too hard because it risks tearing a lot of that out of there. So we're just going to leave it. It's nice and strong. It should be good to shine light forward to oncoming traffic to show you that this is like the front corner of the trailer. And then those lights will show you that that's the furthest part out of the wheels. So this is the front of the trailer. That's the high, when that markers are on, that's the highest, furthest out, if that, you know. So that's basically what we're looking at there. So that looks good. Time to do the other wiring there. So again, see you shortly. I'll finish it up quick. Should just be crimp a connection and be done with it. Yeah, I'll take a look. Or you guys, you know what? Screw it. I'll take you under there and show you what I see. So we're looking at this. It's got a you guys can't see nothing. Ground. And that wire sounds like it runs. It's really dark under here. There should have been a wire that came forward, unless that runs along the front, but that sounds like it went way up high in here. Huh. Looks like we actually got a, where am I looking? Looks like we got a bar that goes across. I wonder if it ties into that side. Oh gosh, my hip just popped. I wonder if it runs into this one. I don't remember anymore. Yeah. It's got a T junction up there. So that runs up and over here. That light is connected. That light just might be burnt out. Okay. Well, if that light's just burnt out, that's an easy fix. Yeah, see, it's just a T-junction. I hate those things, but I'm not going to screw with it because it's already on here. So I might just go and I might not have one of these. I might have a conical light. Oh, come on, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. So, yeah, I actually thought the wiring ran from the back all the way up front to this one, but it makes sense just to go from here across. So I might not have, and I might not even remember where I have a bunch of trailer lights somewhere. Garbage. I has, as haze. So now it's a matter of where. I was just in here cleaning the other day. I know, it looks so good. But where the heck? Okay, I'm gonna, shoot. What I might just do is, shoot. What am I gonna do here? I'm trying to think here. I'm gonna see you guys in a minute and figure out what I'm doing here. So, I just grabbed the light off the driver's side and put it onto the passenger side. It's just a burnt out light. Unfortunately, I didn't tell Carrie. So I'm just gonna put this light back on the driver's side because that's the oncoming traffic. We'll put the burnt out light back on the passenger side. And if we get a chance before Thursday to replace them, or if I find my other light, I'll throw it on there. But those lights on there are too big, and the ones on the dump truck are too big. These are a smaller light, so I just can't use it. So we will just switch those lights around. I don't have to deal with that. The wiring that came from the back to the front that I was like, oh, that goes into the fender markers. So that's why I thought there was a light that was broken, or a wire broken coming forward. So thankfully now I will work on wiring up the thing for this fender marker, I guess. No, I'll do the trailer wiring first, and then I'll run some of these wires up. But we'll go underneath and do the brake wiring. Oh, I'm getting tired. I'll run underneath here, and like I said, I'll do the axle wiring for the brakes, and then broken fingernail. I'll do I'll do the trailer brake wiring, run it right through the axle like it's supposed to be done, and then and then I can work on this stuff here, this bent up fender. But if I can get the wet, gross stuff out of the way, I really just don't want to go on the ground right now. Why don't we do this fender first? Okay, we're going to do the fender first, because that will be some of the last of the welding once that's all straightened up. Let's do that. Oh, my back is starting to give out. Yep, we're going to do that. Straighten the fender. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Turn you around. I'll turn you around and show you what I'm working with here. Okay, so it's got a nice little smile there. Oh, you can see that crease popping out there. And then this corner's folded in. And you can see there's been a hit right there. So when that smashed in, that whole thing wanted to affect this, but I have a feeling this was already creased from whatever happened on the front there. Because when that bent in, this had to give, because that whole curve right there adds a bit of strength to it. So when this came in, that wanted to pop up right there, and this had to pop down. So this here was all affected, and then when this corner got smacked, it tore right there because it couldn't give anymore, because that's already got a bend in it. So I'm thinking this is probably our first spot here to pull this out. And then, well, either. We can pull this out here or pull this out, because that crease right there, that split, that tear in the metal, basically we can either start from either side is what I'm going to think here, because that basically is just a termination point now. This section here, if we work this, won't affect this down here because it's already got a tear, and all that pressure that was put there has been relieved. So we will go and we will pull this out here while we have a jack under here pushing up to try and take that tension, and then as we pull this out, that should want to relax itself up if we keep the pressure pushing up. So I'll set it up and show you guys what I'm working with here. Okay, We've jacked this up with a couple boards to distribute the weight all the way along. Looks like we got it fairly level with the backside that never got moved. So now we can work this out. We got to work, there's two things. We got to work this face here, and then we got to work this crease here, or this lip here. So they're both affecting each other, and because you got a bend right here, you basically are, we got to work this out, and then this will want to flay out like that because it's all going to want to go flat. Anyways, the other thing to keep in mind is anything that it's attached to, keep an eye on that. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start working this right now and try and get it straightened out so it don't look like that no more. So I'll be back when I get that done. I just forgot I got to take the wheels off to get swinging force from the inside. So I got to get my impact and bust wheels off. So anyways, I just thought, because you'll probably see it back and I'll have the wheels all off, but I'm going to get that all done and beat it back. So just use that little hammer as like a hammer, and then that one behind is a dolly. But we got it looking pretty straight, and it looks like the fender lips lined up. That took all of about 2 minutes, and that's not terrible. So I think that looks really good. You see there's a bit of a rise right, there's a bit of a rise right there. I tried to work that out, but I'm also, because it's a checker plate, that rise is about the same height as one of the checker plate things, so it's going to be tough to get that out. So just because the metal isn't flat. Sorry. The other thing is, this is not automotive body work like on that. This is just a trailer. So I'm going to work on this back fender, and hopefully those two will relieve this pressure. So I'm going to get to work on the back fender here. Well, that end I think is good. There's still a slight bow. This end isn't bad. You could see when I opened it up here and got the license plate off, there's a big wang right here. So this creased all this. I don't know, but it's still got a little bit of a bow to it. We'll work that out when we get our brace welded from top to the bottom there. And that should take that out. But it's not nearly as bad as it was. I just think this crease and this damage, this impact did quite a bit, I think, to this whole unit right here. What is that rubbing? Huh. Oh, it could have been rubbing because I jacked this side up and was spinning the tire. That could be. Anyways, yeah, so. And the other side there, Carrie got back and got my, so we just gave that side there a wire wheel and a wire wheel and a quick coat of paint to match the front. Oh, I'm getting heartburn. So, and then I just tidied up a little bit in here. Just wire wheeled all this down and took all the scale off that was underneath the reflector. So another 15-20 minutes, we should just throw the reflector on. But yeah, see, that fender's not terrible. It's still got a light bow, but we got the brace sitting right under my jacket there to go in. So I might go grab my welder, right? Because it's much nicer weather here. I mean, the sun's come out, but yeah, see, that's a lot better than it was. Look at that. I could probably work that out. I just don't think I really want to. I think I'm just going to weld the brace in to bring this all up, and then get our pieces in for our wiring, because we got our penny lights here. That's the back, that's the front, there's paint, and I got a license plate light. So when we throw the license plate back on here, we'll have a light here to light it all up. So I just drilled the old license plate light off. It was just destroyed. So I'll get work on all of this here, because yeah, we might even be able to get most of this ready for getting gone. I might make a hard push tonight to get this thing ready to leave, because I really don't want to be working on this another day. So I will see you guys again whenever I get done what I'm doing next. This is why I gotta do this, take these reflectors off, is because this is starting to rust jacket in here. So we'll clean this all up, wire wheel all this to there, and give that a coat of paint there. That can dry while I work on welding that or whatever. Anyways, I just thought I'd show why I got to do that. This thing bangs into the reflector, and then it causes the reflector to pop out, and then the rust jacking and then water gets in there. Badness. But anyways, I gotta get back to work. Okay, so she straightened, and I did work a little bit more of this, but you see this brace that goes in really pushes that up. And then we got our pipes on the inside for the wire. So, and then I just give that a quick shot coat of paint on there because we just wire wheeled and did that. I just got to wire wheel this corner, but I want to mount the license plate and mount up the light. And then once I get those mounted and figured out, then I'll pull those off and give that another coat of paint. Or I could just clean it up and paint it and then drill through it. That's a better idea. Okay, I get on that. And then, yeah. So I did see a little bit of a crease right there. I didn't notice that until I put the paint on, but hey, whatever. And then, yeah, I'll get this cleaned up here. I've made an executive. I'm going to leave the wiring the way it is on the trailer instead of running it through the tubes. It's fine where it is. I don't really want to start. I'm just getting tired of working on this. I'm doing a lot of work onto here, so I don't really want to start. I'll show you here. You see the right here, you see the brake wires go into here and then they run through the tubes and come out on both sides. But what we did in the winter was run this wire up here across to get a good connection. So I don't really feel like playing with that too much. So we're just gonna leave that and then get our wiring for these marker lights here. And then clean that all up so it looks like the other side. And I think that's about it for this. I think we got to get those markers on those fenders, but that looks so much better. Wouldn't you agree, boys? Oh yeah. See, that looks just so much better. Look at that. See, there's with a new fresh tape on there, fresh coat of paint, straightened out fenders. We just got to get the marker lights on here. So, and then she's done. Oh gosh, I got covered in dirt. So Carrie's off to go get some fencing. I should take another check out at the sheep. I'm going hardcore on this trailer to try and get her done here because I want it out by Thursday. I want to go by, I want to drop the trailer off because then it's done and it's out. I'm good. So I'm going to get to work on painting that back part. I'm going to wire wheel and do this rail here. I got to leave those stickers there. But the rest of it can get cleaned up. And we'll get that painted because we've got good weather right now. So let's do it to it. So I did run into another problem. It wouldn't be a problem if I had a grinder. But my hole saws are dull to cut the sheet metal out. Because the plan was to use this pipe here and cut it out at an angle. I'm just going to use a hole saw to cut it out at an angle, so that the pipe would sit on here and then drill a hole out right like that and then mount the penny light right there. But I'm kind of stuck now. So what I think I'm just going to do is pop a hole right here, mount the penny light and call it good. Because I'm not sure when my grinder's coming back. And like I said, I got to get this back. Or I want to get this back. I got to get this back. It's a combo of the two. I just think that's just going to get safety going here. So that's what the plan is now. I don't have the tools to do it the way I really wanted to do it, which would be a really nice, cool looking way to do it. But this way is still acceptable. To still have your lights on your edges, it's still good. So we're just going to mount them up that way and call it good. So I'm just going to take a lot of measurements to make sure every 4 corners are all the same, so that they look even and consistent. And then we'll start wiring all that up. So, yeah, I'm going to get to that then, because this is just turning into tools down. So at least that'll get us most of the way done today. So I got this all wire wheeled, acetone, wire wheel, acetone, wire wheel, acetone, coat of paint. So we got all that and took a hammer and knocked off all the scale, the rust jacking, and then put a board over that to protect that. I've got this marked out over 8 inches, up 16 from the bottom. I think that'll give us good markers on the fenders and safe distance in. I think it should be okay. I really wanted to put it up there, but I got the license plate light mounted and license plate squared off. but it's not as far out as I would have liked. But I can't fucking do anything. Really, it'll still mark your outer edges, so especially for oncoming. This side's all finished. So I think that's the best place for it there, because that's about 1.5 inches in, which on our stock trailer, that's where that sits, on the top of the fenders, 1.5 inches in from the edge. So I think that should be pretty close enough. This originally had it, you can see, mounted to the side, and it would have had it way on the outside, but that's why it doesn't exist anymore, is because it got knocked off. So I think we'll drill those 4 holes out, mount the lights, and get ready to start wiring those in, I think. So I'm hoping so. Anyways, I might also just get this tape put on and just leave that for the night to think on it, because it's not ideal where I wanted to put it. Like I said, I wanted that to come right out here, right on the edge. So, but we got to deal with what we got to deal with. So I might also just call that good. It can always be welded and closed up, but I think it's a better spot. But this is sure sturdy since we redid that. Oh yeah, and I got my hole to bring the wire in, and then a hole to bring the wire in, and then a hole to bring the wire out. So that's all set up and good to go. License plate light is as good as it's going to get. I should have made one of those and welded them onto here, but that's far enough away from the tire, only runs right about here, so we're not going to worry about it. So I think we're pretty good. Carrie's almost home, so I'm going to see what's going on here. I think I might be done. All right, so we got the penny lights working. It might not look as good as I wanted to with the little, but damn, that looks pretty good though. Hey, look at that license plate light. I just got to finish wiring that side up, but there we go. That's legal. As top as we can go, and then as far out as you can go. Not so much important on the back because we got these, but more important for the front, because there was no marker showing where your outer edge is, but now we're legal. This side's all painted up, and we got the new stickers on there, so the reflectors. All the rust scale, I took the hammer and banged it off, and the chisel and scraped it down, and then I wire wheeled this whole thing, acetone wiped it, wire wheeled it, acetone wiped it, wire wheel, acetone wiped, and then took a dust rag and then gave her a coat of paint. Same with the whole fenders. But I'm going to close this out here, because we're pretty much done. I'm just going to throw these wheels back up onto here and then finish wiring that. And this thing's ready to go back. I did a long push today to get this thing ready to go, but it's now been, all the lights will be on it for safety. All the rust has come off of it, so it's not going to fall off. The wiring's done safe. We've got the fenders looking not like a raggedy piece of crap, so it'll look good going down the road, and it shouldn't draw any attention as it goes down the road. So I'm pretty happy. There was 1 or 2 things. I wanted to do those wire underneath the trailer axles, but the reality is it's good enough. We're not going to worry about doing it. It's going to work. It doesn't get in the way of the tilt function, because it's got the tilt cylinder, the whole thing tilts. It doesn't get in the way of that. It never came off the whole time we were driving it over the winter, so it does work. It's just not like factory cool. It's just, it'll work, it'll get power, it'll make sure the brakes are working good. And we got the brakes all wired so that they're all like I said, that one wasn't working good. But Grafty, she's not happy that she's stuck in there. But yeah, I'm just going to finish getting that one wired on that side, and then I'm done. And this thing can go back, I think, Thursday. I'm hoping Thursday, because we got to go by and possibly get hay, and then we'll drop it off on the way by. So I think that was pretty good. Not exactly what I wanted to do for the day. I was hoping to get some fencing going, but that fender looks nice, eh? That's all leveled out, straightened. Doesn't take much. Trailers are nice to work on, except for being so low. But yeah, that's it. We're done for the day. Once I get that side done, you guys can be done for the day. I got maybe another hour over there, and then that's finished. And then just throw these tires on and drop it all on the ground. Yeah, she's mint. Anyways, I'm hoping this video doesn't take too long, But that's today. Oh God, my glasses. I'm looking forward to a shower because I never even went in for lunch yet. I did get all my tools put away and then that rain stopped, but oh man, that's a nice license plate light. It's good. I think we're pretty much see how the see the bottom lights there, and then bottom lights. So that's all legal. So I think we're done. Babies will say goodbye. Right, guys? Mr. Scorpion, Grafty, Mr. Freeze, a show lamb, Shade, Mr. Samples. Happy's tucked into the corner. Keith, say goodbye, guys. We're done for the day. Bye, guys. Till next time. Thanks, guys.